good music, you can move on. Relax, stress free, leave your cares at home. Leave your cares at home. Do your two-step, get your groove on. This is feel good music, you can move on. Relax, stress free, leave your cares at home. Leave your cares at home.
What's going on, everybody?
That's better.
It is a Tuesday night. You know who we are. You know where we are. You know what we do. The Keto Cookout. We try to have a little fun here on Tuesday nights with the ketogenic family, wherever you are. Even if you're not in the ketogenic family, we want you to come into the ketogenic family and try to get your health right. That's what we're all trying to do here. And my favorite person in the world to grill, chill, and kill with, that is Laura Russell. Laura Russell's here, everybody. How are you this evening, madam?
I am good. We just finished having a storm. I was like, wasn't it 2 weeks ago when we were live that it was like storming then? And I'm like, really? Russ is going to think I'm like trying to ditch him.
Well, can't say I blame you for that. But no, I know better than that. My beautiful sister would never ditch me and tell me about it.
Oh, you would know. There would be signs.
Yes. Oh, we are good. But yeah, it's storming here too. 'Tis the season, as always, this time of year. It is hurricane season here. And it started, we haven't had anything near hurricane though, but a lot of storms, a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of rain. The weather, the temperature gets real hot, gets up in the high 90s, and you get the basically thunderstorm about every day. It's crazy too, because it just comes on so quickly. I mean, you'll be outside, you'll come home from the grocery store, you look up in the sky. I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky. Sky is blue, and you get in the house, you put the bags on the table, and you hear thunder.
Wow.
And you're like,
that's crazy.
Thunder? And you look outside, and it's clouds are gray. It just comes on it so quick, and it just starts raining. And I'm talking the biggest raindrops you've ever seen. I mean, huge raindrops. So it'll be like that for a little while. But yeah, we're coming to you from the solar powered studios of Jacksonville, Florida, and we're doing what we do here. Let's see who's in the room here. Lori's Carnivore Store. Lori says, wish I could attend tonight, but it's the finale at the open mic night tonight before they break for the summer. I'll be yours every Tuesday after tonight, Russ. Have fun, everyone. Well, I will miss you, beloved, but we will see you next week. I understand things come up. I don't know what open mic is, but
I know. I was like singing, comedy.
Works at a comedy club or something. I don't know. Maybe it's something on TV. I don't know. But we will miss you, my dear. But we will catch up with you next week. And Sandy is here. Beloved, it's good to see you. Yippee, hey, Russ. Our man is here. Quack, quack, heart attack is in the building. Says, grab the iguana by the tail. Brian, fly fisherman, is here. Good to see you, brother. Josephine, hello there, my dear. Good to see you. Josephine had a question, an early question. As always, folks, if you have a question or a comment or something, put it in the chat. If you want to come on to the stream, there is a link in the chat. You can do that. Come up, hang out with us, ask your question in person, make fun of me. I'd rather you make fun of Laura, but, you can make fun of me if you want to.
I cry so easy. You have to be careful. I'm delicate.
She's very delicate. She's very delicate.
Yeah.
Josephine says, Russ, have you done or been to a barbecue meetup? I have been to many different meetups and ketogenic events around the country. Ketopalooza, Keto Orlando. I've been to KetoCon, which is Hack Your Health. I've been to the Low Carb USA events. Been to various meetups. Wonderful. Love being around the family. It's always fun. Great stories, great people, lots of love. And if you've never been to any of those type of things, you should definitely go. Yeah. And Bruce is here. My man, Bruce. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. Charlie says, yes, I've been to several different meetups. I haven't been thrown out of any of them yet. That's I'm really glad Cheryl Edwards is here. Hello, beloved. Good to see you. She says good evening. All the regulars are here. Marla, good to see you. Russ is the only carnivore YouTuber who does not fear me. That is not true. Everybody loves you. Whoever you know that you are everybody's everybody's favorite list there. Kitchenwood says present and accounted for. Love that. Good to see you, beloved. And I'm not opposed to hosting something. Listen, I got a good sized place here and plenty of parking and all that sort of stuff. Two full kitchens. I am not opposed to hosting something in the Jacksonville if somebody wants to put it together. You don't want me anywhere near the grill. You don't want to, yeah, trust me, you don't want to cook anything that I've had anything to do with.
You can make your ice cream.
Yeah, yes, I can make Kilt's ice cream. That's right.
Yes.
I can copy that. But yeah, if I don't mind hosting something. I've said that a million times if somebody wants to put it together. But yeah, don't count on me to cook anything. Let's see here. You gotta make sure Laura's on your right hand. That's right. I don't know why I like to see myself on the left when I'm looking at the screen. I don't know. It looks odd to me. It looks upside down. Look at that. I don't know if that's the real Homestead How or not, or if that's Carrie or somebody impersonating Let's
Yeah,
Go.
that's weird.
That sounds more like JT.
I know. I was wait a minute.
But if that is my brother Carrie, it's good to see you, brother. I don't know. Let's see here. T. Lewis says, "Hey, good to
Yeah.
see you." Oh, our good friend and brother Doc Nelson is here. We have Beauty and the Beast tonight. I will not have you calling my friend, my beautiful sister Laura, a beast. You are a terrible doctor. I
You've
cannot
been called
believe
worse.
that is so rude. Laura is not a beast, and I will not have you talking like that about my beautiful sister Laura. She's wonderful,
I
and
will get even with him in the morning because I'm going to
yes.
be on Kiltz's live tomorrow morning. So,
Oh, there you
and I
go.
believe, yeah, I believe Dr. Nelson will be on there. I think Dr. Kiltz won't. I think he has something else to do, but I will be on there bright and early. You will probably just be going to bed, Russ.
Yeah. That's it. That 6 o'clock stream. Yeah, that he keeps threatening to invite me to the afternoon stream, but he won't invite me to a stream I can make. See, he'll invite me. He says, "Yeah, we'd love to have you on that 6 a.m. stream, Russ. If you want to just come on there, we'd love to have you." Okay. See, that one, yeah. Now the afternoon one, he's never not one time. Hey, 3 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, I can make that one. Let's see here. Rick says we've had no rain for weeks. Man, that's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, tis the season. Every day you don't have a hurricane, you're just buying time here. Basically, you're just trying to make it through. It's like, please, let's get to November. It's like
Yeah.
you can steal a day, yeah, or whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
she says imposter Carrie is here. I didn't think that was him, but
Yeah.
there's always somebody. As long as he can mind his manners, he will not be blocked here. Come one, come all. The more the merrier, I think they say. Who else is in here? Crystal is here. Hello there, beloved. Good to see you. Glad you're here with us. Lisa's here and says, good evening, everyone. Karen, she's a regular and a friend. We appreciate you. It says, yes. Lori might be a stand up comic. Yes, I've been there, done that. So I think Bill is here. Good to see you, brother.
Yep.
And I think that might be it. Oh, less junk, more health. Love that. Good evening from Florida. Let's
Nice.
see here. Russ, I'll have to invite you to meet up around here so I can throw you. I will have you know I've been thrown out of better places by better people than you. So how about that?
Mhm.
Oh, yes. Kitchen Witch says I've been to a meetup, but it was for local camping, hiking. Their subscribers Says bring your ducks and iguanas to Russ's place. We've got a retention pond not far from here, and there could very well there are ducks and geese around here because they invade my yard quarterly. I'm telling you, they make quarterly visits, and I don't know how it works or when they decide, but they just show up and just hang out, and then they leave. So, I don't know. So
They're probably mating in your yard.
look who is here. My long
Saying,
lost
"Hey,
beloved.
Robin."
Yes, this is one of my long lost sisters there. It's good to see you, beloved. Robin here. Carnivorous grandma is here. She says, good evening from Florida. You're down here in my neck of the woods?
He is.
Oh, yeah. Was she down there? I think last year she was down in Orlando.
Disney.
Yes, because
Mhm.
it was like the week before or after Keto Orlando. And she's like, oh man, we're going to be there the week before or the week after. I can't remember. But either
Yeah.
way, good to see you.
Yeah.
She is one of my favorites. She knows that. And let's see. Cranky's here making an early appearance this time. He's a closer. He comes in late. But good to see you, brother. Always a wealth of knowledge. Great, great, great energy. I am a cranky Carnivore Cutler fan. We have a question. We have a couple questions. One, Robin, what are you doing in Florida? She's a fugitive from justice, Simpson. She's on the run, but she pokes her head
She's
up
out of
in the
here.
Carnivore family there. And let's go. Okay, Crystal Harris has a question for I'm sure it's for you because nobody wants to hear my answers to questions. It says, I am ketovore, mostly meat. For the past few months, I've been experiencing some involuntary vibration before sleeping while laying down, like fighting sleep, but my body is ready. Vibration. Well, I would say turn off the massager in the chair and it won't vibrate. That's not what she's talking about, is it, Laura?
No, she's talking about like when you feel like you're falling asleep and you do that jerking like that, and you're like, it wakes you up. It's actually a normal thing that happens. It could be a magnesium deficiency, but it is really quite normal to have that happen. I think a lot of people don't remember, but if you ever watch somebody sleeping, which I'm kind of creepy that way, and I'm just like, I watch people, um,
Yeah.
a lot of people actually do that. It's just you probably are noticing it now, but just I'd make sure your electrolytes are up, make sure you're getting enough of those in, and avoid if you're already doing this, you can throw this information out, but if you are trying to avoid blue lights, an hour before bed, just trying to decompress, um, sometimes that can help increase your fat. I always say increase the fat helps with the sleep.
Oh, yes, yes, she does. She does. Well, you may have had just one carrot too many, Crystal. Maybe just back off the carrots, Crystal. That's I'm just kidding. Yeah, I got the jokes. I'm behind the jokes. So she says, have you heard of this before? I've gotten blood work done. Everything was normal. Should I increase different vitamins? I take D3, K2, and electrolytes have increased my water intake. Yeah.
I would only drink water to thirst. I would not be like, I have to drink half a gallon or I need to drink half of my body weight in ounces. If you're thirsty, I would drink. Otherwise, I would not. Um, if you're doing ketovore, your vitamin B should all your B vitamins should be doing better. Um, yeah, taking K2, D3, of course, I absolutely am a proponent for that for every person in my life, including every single patient I see. I'm always like calling the doctor. Hey, they want to try K2D3. They're going to stop statins. They're going to, and we do that. But yeah, the blood work, unfortunately, I'm kind of waiting for like one of the really good doctors out there, like Dr. Nelson, Barry, Hampton, Kiltz, any of those to come up with lab values that are more for ketogenic people, because otherwise, normal ranges, what we have looks, wackadoo. It can be look super high, look super low in certain places because they base lab values on the standard American people.
Well, Doc Barry does have a book, a Common Sense Labs book. Is that a
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
but
I have not read the book, but
it kinda show I have it. It does show you, like, the levels you need to be at, but it's still kind of more of that range of where, everybody's kind of at. But I think he's talked about possibly doing something like that.
yes, the fat intake, it doesn't
Ye
always happen. It doesn't hurt, but it's just weird. It only lasts a few seconds. So I guess the question that I comes to me first is, this only happen after you changed your diet, or did it ever happen to you before you changed your diet? I'm going to guess it didn't maybe happen before. That's why she's asking the question. But I'm curious to know if she ever had any trouble sleeping of any type, any types like that before. A shot of whiskey sometimes will take the edge off there. I don't. Again, I don't know what's wrong
do
with
the
me.
whiskey.
Yes, I have all kind of
We
problems.
do not have enough time to go over what's wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the fattest thing in the world for me. I never joined an
Mhm.
organization whose standards are so loose they limit me. Yes, I'd never be a member of any club that would have me as a member. But I thought that was a Marx Brothers things. Let's Chuck Morehouse says, I have ducks laying eggs again under my bushes in front house. There
Yum.
you go. I love that. Some free
I had a turkey egg today with a
oh, there you
pound of
go.
ribeye fat. It was delicious.
My man, Sharif Kumalaj, horse trainer extraordinaire, is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you and the family are good. We are here just talking health. Horse folks have the worst diets. You spend so much time uh, in the barn and at the track and everything. You end up in the drive-through somewhere. But we want them to get the message too. You can still swing through Wendy's and get the Baconator. Just throw the buns away. I'll eat all the rest of it.
Right.
But good to see you, Sharif.
Yep.
Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well. Says I can't believe it. Fake Carrie made number 3. I guess they're ranking. They're still doing the rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out. I was in Greensboro, North Carolina, this past weekend with my sister Rhonda. She comes in the chat here every now and again. It was her 60th birthday. We had a little get together with some of her friends. We hit the Brazilian Steakhouse 2 nights in a row. Shout out to the LeBlanc Brazilian Steakhouse in Greensboro. It is the only Brazilian steakhouse in Greensboro. So they cornered the market. And I would give them 5 stars, but I can only give them 4 stars because no ribeye.
Ribeye. I knew you were gonna say that.
That's
Dang it.
right, no ribeye. They did have prime rib, and of course they had
Yeah.
picanha and this other cuts, but no ribeyes. And you cannot get 5 stars if you don't have ribeyes on the
Yep.
menu. And I've only been to 2. There's one in Ocala, Florida, that I went to with Carrie and Adam, since we're talking about fake Carrie being in here. But and that was a while ago. And also Dante Ferrigno and Katie. Shout out to all of those guys. We were hanging out there, and they didn't have ribeye either, but most of them, of course, do. But yeah, we had fun. We had fun, and it's good to meet some of her friends and all that kind of stuff. For those who don't know, I have a sister who I was estranged from for 30 years and reunited with her last year. And we've kind of started a relationship there. So far, so good. She'll get tired of me eventually. Crystal sorry, my sentence was broken up. I could only type so much at a time. I've increased my fat. I've been eating like this for about 4 years. The shaking has just been a few months. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, I don't know. Is there anybody in your life that's getting on your nerves? Maybe it's like an eye twitch. Like if you got somebody that's causing you stress, and your eyes sometimes gets to twitching. Maybe,
You can
maybe
always
that's,
try some magnesium
yeah.
glycinate before bed. Just take it an hour before bed, see if that helps.
There you go. Aaron is here. Hello there, beloved. Good to see you. Let me go to here. Oh, look who's here. Our good
Ah,
friend Papa Carnivore. Pete, good to see you. I saw something,
It's
interesting. I was perusing, and there have been commercials lately for a product called uh, what is it? Rejuvenza, maybe. It's not Reju. I think it's Rejuvenza or something like that. If I'm going to talk about it, you would think I would know the name of it. It's Replenza. Replenza. That's the name of it. Replenza. Have you seen this commercial for this product? It's a drink, and it is made specifically for people on GLP-1s to help them with their muscle mass and bone density. Now, it's not a prescription or anything like that. It's not a
right.
drug. It's something I believe you can just buy over the counter. It's just a drink. You can get it on Amazon, different places. But I saw this ad and I was just like, here we go. They're going to just create whole new industries
Yeah.
basically from these GLP-1s. And of course, I know they're working on making drugs for people on
Sure.
GLP-1s.
Yes,
But
they
I
are.
decided, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see what's in this Replenza. I'm going to look at it, look it
Yeah.
up. And here are I'll give you the highlights. It's got some probiotic because everything's got to have probiotic, here
Right.
are the highlights. Green tea extract. Okay. I said there's Rapunzel. Yes, exactly. That's what I said. Wasn't that a Shakespeare play? That's Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Rapunzel, you dummy. Everybody knows that.
Mhm.
Anyway, the key here are the key highlights. Green tea extract, electrolytes, and wait for it, bovine collagen. So basically, this is if you got some bone broth and some green tea, throw in a pack of LMNT.
You got it.
you,
A lot
you
cheaper.
oh, except for the natural flavors, and you gotta
Yeah,
have
whatever natural means.
yeah, they gotta have natural flavors, and it's a couple of things on
Yeah.
there that I can't pronounce. But bad news for the vegans: you can't have any Replenza.
Nope.
Can't have any Replenza. So you're gonna have to figure something else out because Replenza is not a vegan or vegetarian product with bovine collagen in it. So
That
yeah,
is true.
I'm like unbelievable because it gets worse every
Just to make money. Make money off of people.
absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of bovine collagen, I took about 4 pounds of oxtails out of the freezer today. And
Nice.
when this when we're done with the stream here, I can still see how thawed out they are. I might throw them in the pressure cooker tonight.
Yeah.
There's a coin flips chance of that happening.
Mhm.
Cranky says, doesn't fake imposter mean authentic? That's right, double negatives. You can't get that past Cranky family. You can't get it past him.
He is sharp.
That's right. That's right. He's sharp as a steak knife. So yeah, that's but I'm looking forward to more of that. Uh, and I'm just thinking to myself, you know, they're kind of making our point for us in large ways by adding that bovine collagen. And of
Mhm.
course you can get it other places than Replenza.
Yeah. Yeah, your oxtails, when you're done cooking those, you've got
Yeah.
all kinds of
Oh, you wouldn't believe. Yes, you're definitely right about that. It's very, very a lot of collagen in that.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so Pete says, Russ and Laura, I bought a 3.5 pound chuck steak. I'm going to cook it low and slow in my crock pot with salt and butter. Yeah,
Yum.
that's a great idea.
Sounds
And
good.
I did that as a matter of fact. That's what I took out my oxtails. And I also took out a roast. I have a chuck roast in there, and I've started doing that. I've started just putting a roast in with my oxtails, and because oxtails are so fatty, and everybody knows that if you watch this program, I can only handle so much so much
Code
fat at
brown.
that time before, yes, before it turns me into a two-legged nuclear reactor, as I say. And yeah, so I have to mix. I mix ground beef in with them. I mix roast in with them. Mix some a little bit more lean, so I still get all the fat of the oxtails, just not all at once in a
Here.
way that I can kind of handle a little bit better. Uh,
That's all I had today was just a turkey egg and a whole pound of crispy ribeye fat. It was delicious,
yeah, yeah, you are in a
but
place you
my
can.
stomach can tolerate it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can do
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Lots of
Mhm.
collagen in beef cheeks. I don't know where beef cheeks are. I've never seen beef cheeks. They may have them somewhere in my meat department. I've never seen beef cheeks. Is that something you need to go to the
It's like
butcher
yes.
butcher to get? Yeah, it's not something they sell.
I think didn't you say you have like ethnic type markets in Florida? Do you guys have any of
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
ethnic
yeah,
markets?
yeah, yeah.
I
Mhm.
think like the one that you said where you see the whole rabbit laying out displayed like
Yeah,
that, I
yeah.
would say you could probably ask them and you could get them for sure
Hmm.
to try. Have you ever had cow tongue or is that a no bueno?
Yeah, I don't really wanna taste anything that could taste me. That's
Uh,
that's
mhm.
again, it's just, it's I might, if you catch me in a weak moment, if it was ground up or something like that. My dad was telling me about that when he was a kid. His mom used to make it sometime. They grew up kind of poor. I'm guessing it's not a very expensive cut. I don't know. Is that something that?
Yeah, it's just like anything else. It used to be even much cheaper,
Yeah,
kind of like brisket. But the more that people are like, "Hey, you can sous vide this or you can do this with it." Um and it's good. You just have to there's just a little bit of work involved in it basically to, get it to where you want it. But so it has come up in price of course as with everything else. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the cheaper. Most of the time they would throw it
yeah,
out, and then all of a sudden somebody must have been like, "Don't throw that tongue out. I'll cook it." So, and found
yeah.
out that
Well,
you can
back
make
in
it
the
very
day,
good.
they ate everything they could get their hands on. Yeah, I've seen
Nose
now.
to
Tongue
tail.
I have seen that in the stores. You can't really miss that. It's just like a huge
Mhm.
pink
Yeah,
cow tongue.
tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
it's
it
like
looks like exactly
two
what it
miles
is.
long.
Yeah, you're
You're
not
like,
gonna
my
see
God, how
really
far down their
picture that.
throat does their tongue go? But it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know if that's a. Oh, I thought it was a question. It says, "Saw your name while reading about infections in the treatment program I'm doing." Yeah, so there you go. That was for Doc Nelson.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Oh, Doc says Sam's Club has beef cheek.
Oh,
Hmm. Yeah,
okay.
I've never been in the Sam's Club. I have not been in the Sam's Club since the first time I went into a Costco. So, hey, I went to Costco. I came outside and I burned my Sam's Club card right in the Costco parking lot. I tell you. So, but maybe I need to revisit if they have some different cuts of meat. Don't know. Let's see here. Is there any other? But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing just a multitude of new products for people on GLP. And
Yeah.
I don't think this is going out on a limb to predict this. Matter of fact, this is probably the easiest prediction ever. I think that over the next 3 years, GLPs are going to become the number one prescribed drug, overtaking statins. I believe statins are the number one most
Yeah.
prescribed drug out there. If I'm
Mm.
if I'm correct about that, some of you medical
Yep.
folks can
And I
learn.
think I think it's very close already to flipping.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's Carnivorous Grandma Robin says, I like Sam's better than Costco. No, she doesn't, family. She's just saying that because I said I like Costco. She's
She's
just
just being contrary.
she's being mean to me. That's what she is.
That's all we have where I live. The closest thing I have is a Sam's Club, so we don't even
Yeah,
have the other option.
I'm guessing. I tell you what. I have a friend of mine here locally that likes BJ's wholesale. I've never set foot in a BJ's. I don't even know where BJ's wholesale is in my town, but they really like BJ's. So yeah, it probably depends on what you buy. I'm sure they have some things at Sam's Club that they don't have a Costco. I like. I tell you where they really what really got me. I used to buy them all the time, and I don't really buy them anymore. Is rotisserie chickens, and I'm telling you, I would drop a Costco rotisserie chicken on the floor and pick it up and eat it before I would eat a Sam's Club rotisserie chicken. I
Wow.
mean, these chickens were so juicy, so tender. I mean, probably 25% bigger. I mean,
Mm.
and they were cheaper. And that's what originally kind of, I'm like, man, this Costco is all right. But I haven't had one of those in forever. Matter of fact, I might have to put that on the grocery list.
Mhm.
Uh, and get me some Alfredo sauce and have
Yeah.
a lip smacking good time. But yes, I do know plenty of obviously Sam's Club is not going out of business, so there's a lot of Sam's Club fans out there, and I think they were around maybe a little longer. And again, there's areas where, like I said, people don't have Costco's. There's places where
Yeah.
um, I don't have it. Let's see here.
Yeah.
So their meats are more reasonable price wise. Now, of course, Robin lives in a place, a disgusting place that I have only been to a couple of times and hope that I never go back. Now she's down here in Florida, which is wonderful, and she has to drive through a wonderful place called Ohio. But Robin lives in Michigan, family. So really, you know, there's no telling, what. I can't even get it out without.
That's good because I'm like, I am not following what you're throwing out.
She lives in Michigan, and I'm a Buckeye.
I know.
Yeah,
I know it, but
we don't like those folks. I make an exception for her. I make an exception for Robin. That's my girl. But yeah, I may have to look at that. Maybe I'll around here, Winn Dixie is better for meat than any of them. Although, yeah, see, this is making I'm getting grumpy. Now I heard or I read somewhere that Aldi's bought out
I heard that.
Southeastern Grocers, which is Winn Dixie.
Yep.
And they had a sale on T-bones, USA Choice T-bones, and I went to the Winn Dixie where one of the Winn Dixies. There's three that I go to because when they have the sales, I hammer them
Hit 'em
all.
all.
'Cause I'll just clean them out and I'll go to the next one, and they have maximums and stuff. So well, I went to one of the ones close to me, and it was shut down. And they
Mm.
already had the Aldi sign up, but it wasn't open. They had the windows were all
Mhm.
covered, blacked out, and they had an Aldi sign up. And and I'm like, you got to be putting me on.
Mm.
So I don't know how that's
Now
going to.
Aldi's has really good lamb. Like a lot of times you'll find
Yeah,
lamb really, really good price at
yeah,
Aldi's.
yeah.
So yeah.
I get my legs of lamb from Costco. They're like 6.50 a pound or something like that, 6.25 a pound. But I'm just wondering because Winn Dixie by far in this area has the best prices on meat and good cuts of meat, choice,
Yeah.
your choice meat. And so I'm hoping that that they don't screw that up. And
Yeah.
they always have sales, good sales. I'm hoping they don't screw that up either. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm grumpy, and I don't know what the schedule is. They closed that one down, but I went to a different one. Um, one of the three that I go to, and it was still open. And I didn't ask or anything, but clearly it looks like changes are coming, and I'm not
Yeah.
happy about it. At least not yet. I mean, maybe they'll keep the same. Maybe they'll have sales, and maybe they'll do it. But if not, then it's Costco. Costco, at least here, has the best everyday prices, um, other than sale. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe grumpy.
Mhm.
Bill says, I like mixing beef cheeks with other meats in the crock pot. Yep, add some fat
Mhm.
and some collagen to it. Oh, he says I get free beef fat from BJ's. There you go.
Wow.
Robin said
Free.
Costco chickens be raw.
Be raw. Oh.
Oh, hey, up there, listen, up there in Michigan, ain't no telling, man. Ain't no telling. The IQ level up there is so much lower. So, I mean, you may have somebody working the rotisserie that thinks it's a microwave. Okay, I don't. I'm gonna leave you alone because I'm glad you're here. I don't want to run you off, Rob. I don't want to run you away, Robin. Oh Lord. Simpson says, from what I understand, the UK, which is where GLP-1s were first started, isn't used near as much here. It's so abused. Well, they also have different rules about their food and stuff like that. The different ingredients and the things like that.
They're
So
actually almost not used in their countries at all. So actually, their doctors are taught to teach lifestyle diet changes prior, and they have to fail multiple steps of that before that is ever even allowed to be offered. Here, it's
yeah.
like, willy-nilly.
Oh, look who's here, everybody. My friend Erica Bell is in the building. What's going on, Erica? I was just thinking about you. Erica Bell, I don't know if you guys remember, she was on last year, those of you who are regular. And she should come on again. She should be on here. Come on here with us. She is the founder and one of the original partners, I guess it's a partnership of folks that run the Keto Orlando event. And it is coming up here in a few weeks. So if you want to promote and come on here, my beloved, you can shoot me a message or whatever, or there is a link in the chat. I'll put another link in the chat here as well for anybody who wants to pop on here. And of course, you're welcome anytime. And it's good to see you. But yeah, I can't wait to see what goofy things they come out with for that. It's like, oh, if you're on a GLP-1, you need to take this. Oh, you need to have this, or you must drink that. And they'll have people,
Yeah.
doing that. Aldi's bought WD 2 years ago. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out.
It may be a wonderful thing.
Yes. Yes. Let's see what. Yes, you will see me soon. Absolutely. And as I said, if you want to come on and promote, you can see me even sooner than that. Marty Mack says, I stopped seeing a certain doctor 3 years ago because she was vile about my way of eating. Today she called to see if my diet had failed yet.
Are you kidding?
And I'm
For real?
GLP-1. That is hilarious.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
God.
sad.
That is hilarious.
Wow.
He
That
said,
is
"You haven't
somebody.
failed yet?"
There's a lot of
Yeah.
great doctors, and a lot of the doctors definitely went into medicine for the right reasons, even if they've went astray, they
Yeah.
did go into it for the right reasons. That person, mm-mm, something's
Yeah.
not right.
Jersey Tom says, I got to get going to work, everyone. Have a great meeting night. You too, brother. Good to see you. Good to hear
See ya,
from you.
Thomas.
Glad you're well. Yes, Erica says, I'm on terzepatide. Yes, I talked to you, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, maybe not that long ago, and you were telling me about that. And I think you're microdosing, I think.
Mhm.
All that. Yeah. So that's something we can talk about too if you wanna, if you want to pop on and I'm all about information and trying to help people live their best lives. And for some people, that is an alternative or a bridge, or it might even be the answer for some people. So I'm not,
I think some of the people, and not everybody, because I've worked with some people that were microdosing and they still had severe issues, but
yeah,
I think some can do that. But those who can do the microdosing, they as long as they're lifting, eating protein, and doing the things that they need to do to maintain bone and muscle, they may not have they're not gonna have a need for these little products that they're trying to come out with. That's the ones
yeah,
that the doctors are starting them on 5 milligrams, and just bumping them up to the 15 to the max.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I mean, I did a little bit of research on it. It's not something I'm ready to do yet, but it's again, I
Mm,
don't judge, and I don't, if
yeah.
people have to live their best lives. But it looks like, from what I've seen, the vast majority of people who have, the severe side effects are at the higher dosages. It's
Yeah.
like 90% or something like that.
Yeah.
80 something percent of people who report those type of gastroparesis, those things, it's at the
Mhm.
highest dosages, actually. So again, I don't, we're not judgmental here. We want everybody to find their own way and do what they feel is best for them. Consult with your doctor. You got to live your life. You got to walk in your own shoes. And if this is something that's beneficial to you and helping you, I love it. And
And
it,
I do think, though, that people need to go through reputable places to get it. I do
yeah,
know
yeah,
that there are some influencers out there who are like, "Here, use this and go here and get," and I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah,
you have to be very careful, of making sure that it's the real
yeah.
deal." But,
And, I also think, I mean, because again, you can look at Seaweeds. I think Dr. Seaweeds, I know Dr. Boz is doing it. She did a video
Mhm.
on it. She made a video about the top 5 things she got wrong in 2024. And one of
Yep,
them was the GLPs. And she's
right.
doing it, but they're doing it in a ketogenic way. They are, telling people to, eat a ketogenic diet, eat a low carb, high fat, high, protein diet,
Lift,
and the
lift
microdose,
heavy.
as opposed to the standard American doctors who are just like, "Yeah, take this and eat what you want."
Right.
So
Right, and
there's
no
more to it
lifting
than just,
weights, no doing anything.
yeah,
They're never told to do that
exactly.
because you do run the risk, and even we knew this a long time ago. GLP-1s are not new. In the medical
Yeah,
community, we've been using these for diabetics, so it's not a brand new thing for us, but we did see some of that, where you had people that were, you know, losing muscle, and you could see that in their scans. So you could see bone
yeah,
loss, you could see
sure,
muscle loss. The thing that I've seen with a few people I work with that are even microdosing or was and are off of it, and like I said, everybody's different. Some people can tolerate is pancreatitis and gallbladder issues. That's
yeah,
probably the 2 things other than some gastroparesis, some inability of getting the food broke down into, with the enzymes and stuff and getting it put out into the area, so they will have some deficiencies sometimes. So, and especially some of these people who have already had like a gastric bypass or a sleeve who then are also doing that. I think those are people that are probably should be very careful.
yes, you kinda covered it. Bruce had a question, what are GLP-1 side
Yeah.
effects? But I think you kinda covered it, the most of it.
Yeah.
Diarrhea, dry mouth, suicidal tendencies, homicidal thoughts. No, I'm just I'm kidding.
Anal
Aren't those side
seepage,
effects for
hepati
everything? Yeah, I had a leg problem, restless leg syndrome, and I started taking that medication. It's like, oh, is your leg? Yes, I don't have restless leg anymore, but I just want to kill everybody now. I don't know. I just everybody's got to die now. I don't know what
W
that's about.
One of the best ones is an eye drop called Restasis,
Yeah,
and just to hear that commercial, the first time
yeah,
I was walking through, because I try to avoid TV, and I'm walking through, and I was like, "Did I just hear that
yeah,
correctly?" And I had to we have Dish Network, and I had literally rewound it, and I was like, "What? For dry eye, you could," and I mean, literally the entire commercial was like, "You could have da 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 da,"
oh
and
yeah,
they're all dancing around, and I was like, "Wow, these people have lost their minds."
yeah. It's like an eye drop and one of the side effects is blindness. Yeah, don't take it. I
No,
don't.
thank you.
It's crazy to me, man. It's like, yeah, so, those aren't side effects. Suicidal tendencies are not. That's not a side effect. That is a
That's
reason
an
to stop
adverse.
taking a drug. Okay,
Yeah, adverse event.
that's
Yeah,
crazy to me. Bill says Kerry is totally against GLP-1s from doctors. I listen. Kerry's my brother. Love my brother Kerry. He's out there doing big things. Shout out to him and Adam and the whole Healing Humanity crew. I'll say this. I think our community in general, carnivore, ketovore, wherever you are, the entire ketogenic landscape, we are generally anti-medication. I think across the
Yeah.
board. I mean, we don't even want to take penicillin. It's just like we don't like to take anything. We don't want to take antibiotics. We don't want to take a aspirin. I just think that's our nature. So, like I said, here we don't judge. I don't care what you eat. I don't care what you take. You don't. A lot of the folks, some of my friends, my horse, friends that tune into the show and stuff like that, they don't even eat. They eat standard American diet. So it's like,
Yeah.
but that's part of what we do here. This is evangelism. I want
Yep.
those guys to be here because I want them to hear about ketogenic diets. I want them to have have their questions, answer their questions, and get them on a path to at least start thinking about their carbohydrate intake and
Right.
understanding what it is and what it does to you and start to get it
Mhm.
down. Speaking of getting the
It's true.
carbohydrates down, look who it is, everybody.
Mhm.
Yes, Dr. Nelson is here. He has laid them biscuits down and got some beef that's ground. He's doing his thing, living his best life. We love our doc. What's going on, brother? Oh, you're muted there. Hold on. Don't hear you. Can't hear you, doc. Can't hear you. If you're doing sign language, we can't hear you. Hey, I guess you're telling a joke.
Okay.
I'm sure it wasn't funny.
All right. I have
However,
my mic
yeah,
muted. Can you hear me now?
Look at God. Won't
Yes.
he do it? Yeah,
All
that's
I said just came to clarify. Okay. Beast. See, this is Beast and this is Beast up there.
see.
And then
Okay,
this one.
okay. Yeah, it was nice talking to you, Dr. Nelson.
Where did he go? He's gone.
Oh, sorry, Doc Nelson can't stay.
I had to jump in because they were mentioning GLPs and side effects, and
Yeah.
I am not 100% against GLPs.
Yep.
If you're gonna take it, in my mind, you have to do several things, which include the low carb and the exercise.
Yep.
But the side effects are real, and I have had personally uh, two 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 of them, serious ones, gastroparesis and macular
Yeah.
edema.
Now, hold on.
Yep.
Before you continue, what dosages were you at when that happened? High, low, middle?
I was in the highest dose for a year and a half or so. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
with
So
most medications,
is that just quickly? I'm sorry. One more thing. You heard me? I think talk before about the percentage of people and the side effects and the dosages. Is that would you say that's accurate? That people who have the side effects generally are at the highest, or is that myth or a
all right. So I have not confessed. I have not looked at specific percentages of this particular.
Oh, I got you.
Mhm.
Now this is a class. It's a class. Not all medications in a class
Okay.
cause the same percentages of the side effects. There's like the newer one, the newest one in the market of the GLP-1s might actually have lesser incidence of side effects. And the one I was on was not one of the two popular ones. It wasn't Ozempic, it wasn't Zepbound or Mounjaro, which is the same. Tirzepatide. That one seems to have a little bit less. But regardless, usually with most medications, side effects are dose dependent, meaning the higher the dose, the more likely you get a side effect. So,
Yep.
I'm not totally against medication. You want medication when you're having severe pneumonia and you're might be
Yeah.
on your deathbed. You want to go to the hospital and get antibiotics, or
Yes.
when you have any other bad infection anywhere else in your body. So
Yeah.
sometimes medications are necessary, but this
Yep.
one seems to be a little bit frivolous. The use of it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. Anyways, so I'm not opposed to someone using it for the right reasons, in the right circumstances, and willing to do the right thing. And if I were going to suggest someone to use it, might be the same microdosing and just sticking with that dose, maybe not increasing it. And you have to be monitoring probably what some people like to track anyways. But even if you're
Yeah.
not a tracker, then you need to be tracking your muscle mass and your fat
Yep.
percentages, and
And
make
bone
sure you're
density.
not going the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
And
two,
you're still risking side effects.
Mm.
Yeah.
well, the two biggest things that you hear that everybody, at least in my limited questions and research on it, is the loss of muscle mass and bone density, and of course the side effects. And the people who are proponents of it say that 90% of the side effects are for people at the higher dosages, not the lower, people who are proponents of the microdosing. And they also say that anybody that loses weight or goes on any weight loss program is going to lose muscle mass and bone density. It's higher with the GLP ones, but it's
That's
just
the thing. That's the
yeah,
difference, though. And in
but there's
many
no
other ways of losing weight, especially if
yeah,
you're not doing exercises, you
yeah,
might lose muscle mass more than what you want to.
yes, and that's what
But
they say.
the numbers in the GLP ones are really, tilted
Yeah,
one
It's
way
higher.
more than the other.
absolutely,
Yeah.
but they say it's not fair to compare it to zero. If you're comparing the bone density, it's like, well, you're going to lose bone density and muscle mass on any weight loss program to some degree, and you can build it back, whatever. This is just higher, so just they want to make it in their opinion or in their eyes. Let's be honest and fair about it. Let's not act like you don't lose it with other things. So, and again, like I said, I don't judge, and I'm not pro or anti. I'm pro information and getting
Yeah.
information to people that and help them make choices that can hopefully improve their lives. I'm not totally against anything other than high carbohydrate diets. I'm totally against that.
No sugar diet for you?
Yeah, no, no, thank you. I've been on that. I've tried that. Yeah, the whole country's on that.
Yeah, that we've been on it. Look what happened to us.
Yeah,
Everybody's like, "Have you heard the sugar diet?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's what we've been
yeah,
living since like the late 80s. Hell yeah, and look where it
exactly.
got us."
Yeah, so that's all the only thing I'm totally
Yeah.
against. People have to find their way. I think these things can definitely be a bridge. And I like to, if I was going to do it, I would do it that way. I would do it with the ketogenic diet, with the microdosing. It's just like that, with any of the diabetic stuff that is out there when doctors, standard American doctors tell you, okay, well, you're going to have to manage your diabetes. We'll just check your blood sugar and take these pills and take these shots, and you'll be all right. You can just manage it. That's not
Yeah.
the way. And I think they do the same thing with the GLP ones. I'm going to guess they say, hey, take this drug and you'll lose weight.
But
Meanwhile, they're not changing the diet at all. They're not
Yeah.
telling you in any way, shape, or form.
So
It's
there has to
always
be a,
not
a
you want.
plan to come off them as well. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
the other
has
thing.
to be part, you know,
Yep.
we'll plan when the time gets there, whatever the goal is, and then to come off, because you can't plan to do this the rest of your life.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I was just gonna say a lot of the people I have worked with, um, and they're young. They're like in their early 20s and they're like, I have no muscle mass. And it's like once they got off of it, and two of them were absolutely doing like the 2.5, like the low dose, never did go any higher than that. And anytime they would put any weight on, it was like always fat. That their fat ratio just was astronomically much higher than what they're, and I mean they're in their 20s. And I was like, and they're like, how do I? And I was like, I lift a lot of heavy weights. Like, I'm like, eat protein, eat fat, and just lift like crazy. I'm like, that's the only thing I can think of to help, get that back.
Because it is true, no matter which way you lose it,
Yep.
Very often what happens, you lose whatever you lose, you do lose some muscle mass, and when you
Yep.
regain in most of the almost any diet out there, say you might gain more fat than what you had
Mm-hmm.
lost.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
the only way of doing it, I think, is adding the exercise resistance
With an
training
iron.
to it.
Yep.
I'm not talking about going, you never lift 100 pounds,
Yeah.
excuse me, or 10 pounds. I'm not talking about going to the gym and start pumping 200 the first day.
Right.
If
But
all
do
you can do
something.
is stand up from a chair, then start doing that. Stand up from the chair 5 times, then do it 10 times, then do 100 times, and work yourself up. Standing up might be a high intensity training for some people
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
never done it. They carrying too much
Yeah.
weight, and you know, start there. Start
Sure.
wherever you are, but you
Yeah.
have to incorporate it uh, with this because this is the dangers. The medications are very effective in helping you lose weight. As soon as you stop it, most people regain
Yeah.
most of the weight, and eventually they're going to regain
More.
the whole thing. And this is, I think, if we look back at yo-yo dieting, this
Mhm.
whole thing, the same thing happens with any diet. Uh,
Well, I mean, now you build up tolerance, don't you? After a certain amount of time, once you get to the highest dosage, don't you build up tolerance and such?
you probably do, and you plateau.
Yep.
So I wouldn't push it. Having been there, done that, I wouldn't push it to the maximum dose. I would, if I were to, even if I were to use it right now, I would microdose. I would definitely be doing uh, some additional exercises, resistance training type, and have a plan to come off and come off slowly, uh, even if you never got a side effect, which most of
Yeah.
them are GI tract side effects like nausea, vomiting, constipation.
Right.
You can get severe ones like gastroparesis, where your stomach is
Pancreatitis.
not digesting anything
Yeah.
to the extreme.
Yeah.
But here's the $1 million question: would you drink Replenza?
Crazy.
Did you hear when I was talking about
I
Replenza
heard
earlier?
you. I heard you. My wife was just having some Replensa OG.
Yeah.
I had made some bone broth some time ago, and we still had some
Oh,
in the
Yeah.
refrigerator, and
Yeah.
get a
she was
Replenza
having the
IV.
last of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw a little green tea and some element tea in there, and you got
You got
Replenza.
it. Mhm.
That is hilarious. Well, Bruce said, I may have asked this before,
Crazy.
but is there any truth to the assertion that allulose has GLP-1 properties? The answer to that is yes. I have heard Dr. Bickman talk about that. Would you care to expound
Yep.
on that?
The
Either
answer is yes. Yeah, it has some
Hmm.
GLP properties, but you know what? A a very low carbohydrate diet, ketogenic diet, those most of the things that you want, that those most of the things that GLP ones do. It's just that they optimize those actions, and
Yeah.
sometimes it can help someone who has been stuck. Okay,
Yeah.
and it could be they have been stuck, whether it's health related because diabetes continues to be out of control, even if you're carnivore or whatever it happens.
Hmm.
For some people, it's more difficult to get to control than others, or you've been stuck in the same weight for a long time and you're willing to do anything. And I understand those people as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen,
So
it's
I'm
like
not
anything else.
against that, but
Mhm.
you have to be extremely careful. Otherwise, you can mess up your metabolism
Yeah.
and have it, as long as you know all the possible side effects.
Right.
Yeah. It's a
That
choice.
applies to any medication. Read can we say the word here? Read the package insert at the very least,
Yeah.
right, Laura? Every medication
Yep.
comes with package insert, and if they didn't give it
Yep.
to you, you should ask the pharmacist and read that.
Absolutely.
At the very least, I mean, there could be some arguments about the total veracity of those things, but that's what we have, right? At least read that.
Yep.
If you're willing to run the risks of having those things that are mentioned there,
Yep.
like if you listen to the commercials, like Laura was saying, and they
Mhm.
start, telling you you might have homicidal ideation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're dancing around.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So here's a question I have. They're working, and I'm sure I think they're in clinical trials with them. There's a few different companies that are working on oral medications, GLP-1s.
Mhm.
Well,
Okay.
semaglutide is already in a
Yep.
pill. You
So
can
which
get
ones
Ozempic.
I'm not sure which ones.
Ozempic.
I just keep
Ozempic
hearing that they're
comes
working
in
on
a pill. It's called, I forget, but I think the same company puts it out. It's a pill.
Okay.
It comes in starting those 7 milligrams. It does already come in a pill.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they were still working on getting those to final approval.
Yeah.
But how is that different than the shot? Is it a stronger dose because it's not in your system as
Necessarily.
long, or it's not? It has to be digested. How is it? It's got to
It's
be different, doesn't it?
it's the same medication indicated for the same thing.
Right. Yeah. I don't understand if you take it intravenously versus taking in a pill. It seems like it would have to be different because it's got to go through a different metabolic process to get into your blood, right?
Well, it gets absorbed. Ribelsus is the name of the
Rybelsus. Yep.
semaglutide.
You're right.
Ribelsus.
Yep.
But it's exactly the same molecule as
Yeah.
Ozempic.
Yep.
Yeah. I
It's the
gotcha.
only one I know of, but if one did it, I'm sure it's
They'll all do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because there's a lot of people that won't take a shot. I mean, not for
And
something like
GLPs
that.
are not exactly new.
me.
The first GLP came out in 2005, 20 years
Yep.
ago.
For diabetics.
It's Bayetta. It was Bayetta, but
Yep.
it was an injection twice a day, every
Yep.
day. So the newer ones in the past few years have been once a week, and it's easier and all that. And Bayetta, when it came out, the first side effect from it was the same. Now, nausea and vomiting were the
Yep.
first side effects.
So Bill says GLP shots are synthetic, right?
So they are synthetic hormones mimicking your own human hormone. So you can make it akin to hormone replacement therapy, but they're man-made.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, my apologies to everyone who tuned in tonight and did not want to learn anything. But when you got Dr. Nelson and you got Laura on the channel, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn something today, family. That's just how it goes. So I appreciate it. But once again, okay, you're going to say something, Doc?
If you want to learn more, tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Absolutely. You can plug
Right.
anything. You got anything you need to plug here, Doc? Any
No, that
6
was
a.m.
it. Laura's going to be in the morning there. So that's all I need to say.
There you go. Well, family, once again, I think we have met our contractual obligations to you. We hope you had a good time and enjoyed your time with us tonight. I appreciate you being here, as always, sharing the time with us. We try to have fun and learn a little bit on Tuesdays. Appreciate Doc for popping in. Always appreciate my beloved sister Laura for joining me every week. And until the next time, we'll see it. Keep your carbohydrates low. Keep your proteins and fats high. We will see you on the next one.
Good night.